softly, and carry a big stick.
Theodore Roosevelt.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Curiosity fosters connection.
Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside while still alive. Never surrender.
Who said that?
How collaborative energy
can
occur at any point in time with any type of person, even someone who's shutting it down. It still is an open door into a whole realm of human beings.
Right.
So, anyways, I thought that was kind of fun.
For sure.
Hey. We back in the bakery. Me and Jill, fresh from the gym. So we honoring that. We honoring our body. We honoring that space. The quote right off the bat. What's the quote we have today?
Oh, let me pull it up. I was so worried about my muscles not flexing.
We can see them popping.
Oh, yeah. All right, we'll just start off with this one, and then we'll give you a couple others later.
Don't get mad. Don't get even. Do better. Much better.
Please.
Rise above. Become so engulfed in your own success that you forget it ever happened. Who said that?
I love it.
Have to find out.
I'm like, hey, everybody, my name's Priscilla. We got my good old co-host,
Pete Willis, a.k.a. Be Active.
Then there's somebody that's here that we have to say, happy birthday to you. What's your name?
Well, I am No Chill Jill.
This is our part 2 to the PB&J, but also we are celebrating and honoring the life of our friend Jill here in her birthday month. And if you're watching this episode on its premiere day, even though we recorded it ahead of time, it's premiering on Jill's birthday. So you get to celebrate with her in real time watching this episode today.
And I thank you for all of your love and positivity. Pie slices.
I was like, we all know that pie is the pursuit of internal evolution, and something that revolves around birthdays that we should kind of highlight is how much pie has really been invested into. We'll just use our friend No Chill Jill as our example, but like she had a mom and a dad, and they might not have been perfect pieces of pie from the get-go. They might have eventually got to the pie that they were when they created this piece of pie. And then she is born and evolving and turning into, I mean, really a delicious, healthy piece of pie now after some time and some energy. And so when we're thinking about our birthdays, really, truly, the thing that is something I love to think about the most is that all of you, especially No Chill Jill, but all of you were celebrated the day you were born, okay? And it doesn't even mean like your parents could have given you up the day that you were born, but you were still celebrated. There was a nurse that was up in that room that was so excited about you, and there was a doctor maybe there that felt the same because your life was here on earth, and there was another person that was going to be on our team to develop some tools so that we could all share again in the development of pie. So anyways, if it's your birthday coming up, or if you got people around you and you have their birthday near, celebrate them like they would have been celebrated on the day they were born. Like, you are just as cool as that day.
I think I'm cooler.
You're cooler. It's not even cooler. We threw a party that day you were born, so now we got to keep partying, I think.
Right.
Keep celebrating how wonderfully evolved you truly are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I received that.
Absolutely. I talked with Jill a little bit about her birthday before we recorded the episode, and I asked her if she was excited about her birthday or her perspective of her birthday, and I loved her response. Will you share a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So my perspective of birthdays is it's really celebrating who you are and who you are becoming, and age is just a number. And for me, it's all about longevity. And I honestly feel like as I get older, I get better in everything that I'm doing because I'm more aware of myself and I'm evolving internally, and I want to pursue that.
Sounds like
growth,
pie.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I also, no joke, but she said that she got better looking too. And I love that because it's the truth. Like, I don't know about you, but I look like a dumpy little mess when I was a kid growing up, and I just keep getting
Facts.
better. And so I love that she was honoring that you keep getting better.
Right?
It's a good thing to celebrate.
You know, it's all about, I'm all about health and wellness and longevity.
Yes.
And what we feed our bodies, what we feed our mind, what music do we listen to, like, it all matters. And I'm really, really conscious and aware of all of those things. And that's what I hope to continue to empower and educate other people on, is how to live a life that you love. Because there was a long time, in the first half of my adult life, I was very unhappy. And, so I vowed to myself that I will never sacrifice my happiness for anyone or anything moving forward.
Oh, I
All
love
right.
that.
We have some stuff to dig in.
Yes.
When it comes to celebrating Jill and everybody getting to know her. But first, and as always,
we need to keep
going.
Yay!
Right? Joshua Smith
and Jordan Davis. Thank you both so much.
You guys have put together an amazing tool. This is a great tool. Make sure you get your copy. Keep effing going. You can go to the Facebook page and order it straight from there. I'm pretty sure
it's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Amazon.
It's a quick link.
Quick link to Amazon?
Yep. Easy
Fucking
peasy.
Amazon, man.
Buy it.
Day 8. I like this one. Professionalism involves adhering to certain standards and expectations in order to present oneself in a polished and competent manner. This can include dressing appropriately, using formal language, and adhering to strict codes of conduct. Authenticity is about being true to oneself and expressing one's personality and values in an honest and transparent way. This can involve being more casual in one's communication style, sharing personal stories or experiences, and being open about one's opinions and feelings. While there is a tension between these two qualities, it is possible to strike a balance between professionalism and authenticity. Being true to oneself while still adhering to basic standards of professionalism can help individuals build trust with others and create a positive reputation. Striking a balance between professionalism and authenticity can help individuals be true to their own values and personality while still presenting themselves in a competent and polished manner. Now, I have some things to speak specifically to that. Thank you, Josh and Jordan, for bringing that to us on this Day 8 read. So, our appearance is just that. We were like about to put on the Pie Talk stuff, and we had worked out today, and we were talking about honoring ourselves. And we were like, you know what? We're both in black tank tops. We work out. We honor our bodies. We take care of ourselves. We put in that energy. So we're going to just show up authentically this way. That's why you're getting a little muscle peak show. Jill got some guns over there too.
No, get some gains.
But yeah, that's what that reminds me of. And also just in your professional life, you can still be you.
Yeah.
And still maintain that level of professionalism and quirkiness, like Priscilla had talked about one time. We read this same one.
Yeah.
I remember.
I was just thinking, this is on real time here. So this environment breeds the ability for these two to showcase their guns right now, right? Okay. So that in our professional environment is something that's accepted and allowed. But they were showing their authentic self. And by doing that, I am now thinking about working out. And
Yes, high five,
right.
sister.
And
Yeah.
right, absolutely. But it's like kind of cool because like had they not done that, had they not been in their authentic self right now, I wouldn't even contemplated that idea or concept today. So because they were who they are, they then were actual leaders in a professional environment. And it's not because I was like, hey, could you two motivate me today to go and work out? It's because they just showed up as exactly who they are right now with beautiful guns.
Okay, that's what's up.
I dig. I'm like, so the other portion of this though that is kind of interesting is I think that it just really varies on reading your audience. And that's something that I have been learning about myself. So I am authentic. Ugh. To a fault sometimes. My authenticity is pretty extravagant, it's extreme, it can be a little pungent, and it can be a lot to handle. But I still want to stay true to myself. So I've been in some environments lately, professionally, that if I were to go balls to the walls on Priscilla, I might actually hurt people around me. I might actually take people down. So I've been sitting in these moments lately and having this stop, think about it kind of concept to where I can still offer like part of my opinion, or I can showcase one example of my life in an authentic way, but I'm not like laying out all my cards. I'm not telling everybody exactly what I think they should believe. Or sometimes I'm staying away from things like politics or religion and the topics that could maybe be a little bit more astringent to larger groups. And I'm just staying on the concepts of like love and unity and community, because I can still achieve the same goal. I can still get my message across without going like really specific into what I myself personally believe. So I think there's like a balance between being authentic and then being like really loud about your authenticity.
Yeah, I think like you said, it's about reading the room, reading your audience, and having discernment of how to navigate through that, right? Because we're always going to be authentic, right? But it's about, you know, how loud or medium or soft your authenticity is going to shine.
Right. But so it's like,
It's the volume of your voice.
Yeah.
But not your actual voice, just the voice you put into the world with your presence, with your energy.
And I feel like you don't have to lose yourself in that. Like you can still be there, but it's just like maybe a little bit of considerate modification for like the people that you surround yourself with, which I kind of like. I like that challenge even. It could be a good one. Is anybody up for some daily challenges? Shall we get rolling in them?
Yeah, let's grab some of these cards.
All right.
Okay.
And then I have some stuff for Jill to talk about.
Okay, perfect. I'm excited.
Yeah.
That'll be a challenge too.
Yeah, sure. Because, you know, being put on the spot is a little uncomfortable. But that's when we grow the most.
I do believe you said that was something you tried to do for yourself, is to make yourself uncomfortable.
Yes, it
so
is.
We will politely challenge that.
I accept the challenge.
So that's my birthday gift to you. I'm making you uncomfortable.
There we go.
And according to the last episode too, you could also say no to our request in the moment, and you could decline anything with a complete sentence of NO. So I like this practical application. Would you like to head in?
Let's see what we got here. Better than yesterday. Home stretch. 128. When you wake up today, take 5 minutes to stretch. Stretching increases serotonin levels and is a healthy morning habit.
That's right.
Speaking of, that's one of the first questions I'm going to ask you in this challenge.
I love it.
Before we grab these next cards, and since it said that, what's Jill's daily morning routine look like?
All right. Well, I'm glad you asked. So I start out by drinking some water. And this is not any kind of water. This is...
I had a feeling just by looking at the container.
Right?
Beautiful.
So this is Kangen water which is alkaline water, and it is living water. So it really is super hydrating to our cells. So I drink water first, and I also have hot water with lemon to get my digestive system going, and it's a natural energy boost as well and helps with your immune system. And then I will take a few minutes to meditate. And one of those things is reading this here. Should I read this now or wait for later?
Oh, go for it. This is all part of your morning routine.
So
I asked.
Yeah, so this is all about your chakras. So each one is based on your chakras. So this is kind of like realigning your chakras, bringing the flow of energy, and bringing in your spiritual committee, which is like everyone, your spirit guides, your ancestors, masters, the creator, the father, everyone is within that spiritual committee. And I have an altar set up in my bedroom, so I will light some Palo Santo and really just like get the atmosphere set up. So
I'm like, I know I liked you, but I'm liking you more and more.
So this is the first one for the root chakra. Each and every day, I renew and refresh my DNA and strengthen my connection to Mother Earth. Each and every day, I honor all my relations. So these are going down all through the chakras, okay? So each and every day, I am secure and strong within myself. Each and every day, my heart overflows with love. Each and every day, I listen with open ears and speak my truth quietly. Each and every day, I realize that everything is perfect and life is holy. Each and every day, I breathe the pure white light of the Holy Spirit into my being. Each and every day, I honor the golden threads of light that connect us to each other, the Creator, and Mother Earth.
Amen.
Yeah. And then I do take some moments to stretch and do push-ups. I normally wake up around 5:30, 5:45, and then from 6 a.m. to 6:20, I have a conference call with my assistant, and we talk about business, or we do a meditation together, something for, that 20 minutes. And then just depending on what day it is, like Tuesdays and Fridays, I go to evidence-based fitness out in Lacey. So shout out to Aisha and Rusty. And I work out 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And then the other days I work out with Aisha doing one-on-one training.
Awesome.
Monday, Wednesday, Saturdays. And
she does bodybuilding, right?
She does bodybuilding.
I've seen some of y'all, I'm your friend. We're close. I follow her on IG. I see her doing her thing.
Yep. Yeah, so she actually did like 3 bodybuilding shows last year in the wellness category. And right now, I used to do more group training with her and other, members at Evidence-Based Fitness. But here recently, I started doing more one-on-one training with her because her and I have the same goal right now.
Yeah.
Right now, we are bulking. So you're going to continue to see me get more, bulky, and then I'm going to start burning. And so it's a little uncomfortable for me to get bigger. But it's all part of the process of, you have to, because I don't like to be skinny. And so I want to, in order to gain mass, you have to bulk and then burn. So that's why we started working out together. And so we're lifting really heavy right now and eating like every 3 hours.
Wow.
So it's, I eat really, really clean, and I'm drinking a lot of water. And right now, we actually are on a 6-week low sugar challenge. So today is the start of week 4 out of 6.
Amazing.
And there's a group of us doing it at the gym together, and a couple other people outside of the gym doing it. And I feel really great. You know, it's all about nourishing your body for what it really needs.
Absolutely.
And also, part of the aging process is, as a female, it's really important that we have strong bones and that we build lean muscle, because as we age, it's really important to have the foundation of strength, because as you get older, you know, osteoporosis comes into play, brittle bones. So it's really important to actually have lean muscle. And so I hope that that inspires you.
I was just saying.
You looked her right in the eyes.
Right.
Like,
to, you know, get it in. And you don't even have to have a gym membership.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, from a real, like, candid place, is I have been really big because I was kind of unhealthy and eating things that I was allergic to aspartame and things like that, and it wasn't going really well for me. And then my ultimate goal was to be skinny, and eventually I ended up cold and hungry and tired and all sorts of things that weren't really for me. And so right now the ultimate goal is to build and to bulk and to become like a strong, like my sister and I talk about it, we want to become like warriors. Like, you want to be physically fit and you want to be able to take care of yourself. And because we that muscle mass that you're gaining is really that physical fit nature that you're trying to strive for. So I am like, in honoring of this. I love the invite. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also about functionality.
Yeah.
Because it's not, you can look at a bodybuilder, for instance, right? Somebody who just lifts weights all the time. They're massive. But what is your endurance? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember hearing that a bodybuilder is on the brink of at the worst point of their physical health when they're doing a show.
Yeah.
So crazy to think about.
So it's about like learning like how to grip, right? If you can, because think of it as think of fitness and like your health as survival.
Yeah.
Because if there's a situation where you have to run and you have to jump over fences and you have to climb a tree, if you don't have strength to do that
and
endurance, you're not going to make it.
Right.
And who knows like when that survival skill will have to come into play.
Yes.
But it's really important to understand that we all have the power within us and that anything is possible when you choose to set your mind to do it. And one thing that Threat always says is a conditioned body is a conditioned mind.
100%.
Or vice versa. A conditioned mind is a conditioned body. But it's basically saying that when your mind is strong, your body will follow suit because your mind tells your body what to do.
I love this.
You know,
before I forget and we get too far along,
yeah,
I don't want to glaze over what I felt like was one of the most important things you said in the beginning.
Okay.
That water. Let's talk about that water.
Yeah, let's talk about that water.
Where do you get that water?
Okay.
Because this is so interesting how the universe, we talked about signs last episode, and we'll talk about a little bit more today while we're honoring you. But my wife just sent me yesterday a TikTok thing. And this lady had these 2 cups of water and this scientific apparatus that she's putting in the water, and it's saying that she was saying that we live on negatively charged water.
Yes, 100%.
And so she charged this water. There was a water bottle from the typical smart water type bottles that we buy in the store. And this thing was reading like 200 in the plus positives.
Yes.
And then she had, I believe it was that water you just named.
Water.
And that was like negative
water.
700 or whatever. Like it was the complete opposite. And she was like, they're literally selling us death.
I was just going to say just one thing right off of that before you get into it. But death water, guys.
Okay, so I'm going to go deeper into that.
Okay? Like, it's not cute.
Yeah.
That's such a poor affirmation.
This is pie talk. How
But
do you
it's
grow
true.
this tree
It's
without
so true.
life-giving
It's so
water?
true.
So, Dasani water
Ugh.
is
Made by Coca-Cola.
deceitful water. Okay? Dasani is deceit.
Yes, dishonorable,
You can
deceit,
Google this
Dasani.
information. Okay, this is public information.
Okay, so we're not going to get in trouble for this.
No, we are not.
Yeah, that's right. That was Google that did it.
Right, hello. So,
disclaimer, Google.
but for real, this information is online. And it has been tested that Dasani water has traces of the chemical that they use on when they like give somebody the death penalty.
Yes.
And there's small traces of that in this Dasani deceit water.
Yes.
Also, water in water bottles is so full of microplastics, of poison, basically, heavy metals, all this stuff. And so if you're going to, and this whole thing about the Stanley cups, guys, if you have one of those, throw it away.
They literally just tested them out
for lead.
So they're full of lead.
Full of lead. So you're drinking poison.
P.S. If anything is like super cool, it's not cool. Okay?
Exactly.
If you haven't noticed.
Right.
Like,
so try to use glass if you can. Yes. Glass is best because it doesn't leach any plastic or chemicals into it. But yes, to go more into Kangen water. So Kangen water is electrically charged, and you can get it from Threat and I. It's only from distributors from Kangen water, but you can feel the difference of this hydration.
100%.
And they have different levels of the pH balance. Yep. You can use this water to use as disinfectant. You can use it as beauty water on your face to hydrate and help your skin renewal. You can use it to get stains out of your clothes.
I feel like we're going to have episode 3 continuation. Yeah. Because this is just so much truth. Yes.
So we can do a water demo.
Yes.
And you can see the difference. But you should not drink out of your tap whatsoever. Do not, because it is full of fluoride, which is dumbing us down, and it is hurting. Yes. It is. It's really the food and beverages. It does affect every part of our life.
Absolutely. So it's going to go and intertwine into our show, which is about signs again. And there's so many different signs out in the world. One of the signs that actually is on it's number 5 is conversation. Conversation can be a sign. And so right now, real time, I am like, getting all of these signs from Jill that I had already been praying up and asking for. And so thank you so much, Jill, for just being your authentic self. I really appreciate that. But on my notes right here, I can show you if you need the proof. But another portion that I was going to speak about was alchemy. And how alchemy is the base formula of everything that we exist on Earth, okay? Every single color, every number, every letter, it all goes back to alchemy. And so this could even be like the 7 days in the week is all based off of 7 different planets that occur. And then those planets all hold different alignments and values. So Monday, I'll just use that as an example. Monday is like the moon day. And that's the beginning of the week. It's beginning of a new cycle. Have you ever noticed how when you're sick for 7 days? Isn't that weird? Is it because we all just magically mapped out a 7-day cycle? Or the fact that the moon runs on 28 days, and if the divine feminine is in line with the moon in the 28-day cycle, you have a menstrual cycle every 28 days. So this stuff is it's everywhere. It's weaved and woven in every particle of our existence here on Earth. And there's so many ways. Tears. Like, thank goodness I cried in that episode. I needed to balance my alchemy. I needed to get the actual the salt out of my body. And by crying, I was fixing the pH balance within my system without me actually needing to be like, Priscilla, fix your pH. That was just the goodness of living and existing. So what Jill is talking about right now is if our bodies are made of, like, think about the moon. The moon moves the ocean in and out like a tide, okay? So we're pulling and pulling the ocean with the moon. Our bodies are made of, I believe it's about 85% water. So, like, you know how on a full moon everyone starts acting crazy, and the hospitals overstaff, and the emergency rooms overstaff, and they make the ambulances, you hear them running up and down rapid because everyone's being moved by the moon, because we are, again, that body of water. How could you start to fix some of this from an easy place? What Jill is speaking about, filling your body with this water, is a great way of creating the base for a much more fluid and positive movement while we exist on Earth.
Absolutely. And water, you know, water is alive. You know, water, it's the hydration for the vibration. You know, and thanks to Threat for that one.
Thank you, Threat.
But yeah, so it's you know, we can survive days without. We can survive without food.
Yeah.
But we cannot survive without water. No. And it is a foundation of optimal health. Without water, we will die. You know? And so yes, it is the vibration of water that really allows our bodies to move. It's part of every function of our body relies on water. And so dehydration is a really major thing that a lot of people are chronically dehydrated, and they don't really think about drinking water.
Absolutely.
You know, and water, you know, there's just so many benefits of water.
The other thing that Jill's talking about is the right kind of water. So, like, when you have regular water that's out of the tap, it is deficient in minerals, and your body actually needs those minerals. So when you're filling up the lead-based Stanley Cup with your water that comes out of your fluoride water that's coming out of the tap, and you think that you're drinking gallons and gallons and gallons, you'll notice that your body isn't even absorbing the water, and you're just going potty over and over again, which just means you can over toxify yourself, and you can hurt your body with that water that you're drinking in massive amounts. It's doing the opposite of hydration. It's actually dehydrating you.
Right.
So one thing, if you can't get a hold of Jill and the lovely water that they have to offer, you can get we get ground well water. I get my water from downtown Olympia, the well. It's the artesian well. It's free. It's a great resource. There are definitely artesian wells all over the place that you can locate and find. And then I take Celtic sea salt.
Yeah.
And or Himalayan sea salt. I use Celtic just because it's a little bit more mineral rich, in my opinion. And you put just a little bit in your water, and now that water is actually the water that your body needs and craves.
Yeah.
And it's just one way that you can truly begin to pivot things. Don't buy death water, please. Go buy Celtic sea salt and go to a well.
Yes. Or get the Kangen water.
Or get the Kangen water. This sounds brilliant. The other thing that we got to think about too, so we talk about affirmations here a lot on Pi.
We do.
And you can go and you can Google it, you can go on YouTube, and you can see how the water that we speak to is going to change the way that actual crystals formate. So like you can freeze water that you speak evil to, and the actual freezing compartments, they look really icky and they don't look that nice. And then you can speak loving to water, and you could freeze that, and it could look under a microscope, and it looks beautiful and healthy and symmetrical and like a song or a dance. Okay. So the water that Jill is providing is literally like magic medicine water. And then it's also been spoken to and loved on by people with intentions that want you to succeed. They want you to live forward in a positive manner. So it's like triple dog goodness. And I dare you to try it.
For sure.
Salutes, toots.
And it's just like when you talk about signs and symbols and branding, you know, Threat's big on our branding, and even this logo, this tree, it's you growing. A tree is deeply rooted, like the parts of the person that people see. You don't get to see the roots. You don't get to see what's really underneath and what's going on, and how are you feeding that.
How are you
so
watering
the
it?
deeper your roots run, into the grounding of your pursuit of internal evolution, like the stronger and more quality of a person you are for yourself and for your community. So you have this really strong foundation and rooted in your own authenticity physically with this water. It sounds like I need to get some.
Yes.
Take care of yourself
Mm-hmm.
so that you can then take care of those around you. That is really what pursuing internal evolution is about. It's not about being selfish, but it is. You can figure
It's
that out on your
selfish.
own.
It's self.
It's that
Yeah.
good
But
self.
it's the same concept they tell you on the plane. Put the mask on yourself first before you start trying to put it on your kids or your lover or the other person that's struggling in the seat next to you. Make sure you're okay, because if you're good first, you can help more people.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm
For
like,
sure.
I know that B has some more questions for you, but I right now I'm laughing because the universe and signs always. I'm gonna get to my challenge
I know,
card.
I was like,
We didn't plan it, go figure, but the universe sure did. So it says friends who sweat together. Okay. Better than yesterday. 93, which you can break the nines down and you got some more threes. Go to a workout class with a friend, especially if Jill invites you like she did me.
yes.
Pushing yourself out of your comfort zone is easier with a friend, and I surely agree to this all the way. Thank you so much, Jill.
Yeah.
I appreciate you beyond.
Most
right now.
definitely.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Oof,
Time to
I love
sweat.
it. What do we got going on next?
All right. How to slow down time. Number 115. Do 5 minutes of planks today.
Drink your water and
yes.
work out.
What are the odds
I
that this is the
know.
episode we come tank topped in,
Right.
love
showing our
it.
guns, and everything is pointing at working out.
Talk about signs everywhere.
know.
Signs.
I'm getting conflamed.
PB&J. This is what it is. This is natural, organic.
Oh man.
God.
So
we did not script this.
Not at all.
Matter
So-
of fact, we forgot the agreement cards on the table. So, like, we really were just jumping in right
Right.
now. And these cards were not planned.
Not at all. Challenging exercises not only strengthen you physically, but also mentally.
Ooh. Brought to you
Full
and
circle.
paid for by Jill.
That's right.
Goodness.
Oh my
This
gosh.
is great.
Yeah,
I'm like, so
it's-
the topic of the day today, which we've already kind of talked about, is signs everywhere, signs. And they can literally be everywhere. They could be in your podcast while you're trying to tell people about signs, and then you done get some signs in your sign talk. Okay?
Right.
So it could be in conversations like we just chatted about, which I really love, the practical application of that. But we've got some more. I'm like tripping right now over Jill.
And, you know, we have perspectives that go with signs. We have superstitions or our ability. So when we talk about, so one that I have, which is funny for a lot of people, is like the number 13, right?
Yeah.
For a lot of people, 13 is negative. It's bad luck, right? But when I started to dabble in numerology, 13 just equals 4. And 4 is the number of a builder.
Right.
4 is very good luck. You know, you talk about 4-leaf clovers and there's 4 seasons, right? So 4 is a huge part of all of our cultures. 4 will exist, right? The angel number 444, again, it talks about when you are in alignment with the path you have chosen coincides with your innermost desires, right? Your angels have your back. That's why I tatted it on my neck, right? And so your beliefs back up your ability to see and acknowledge signs. That's another thing. And I'm going to do a shameless shout out right now to my little brother Hassan and his co-host T-Lock, because he said something really funny on their podcast, Dads Who Game. He said that graveyards are fast travel points for dead people.
Yes.
And if you don't know what that is, then it's some gamer terminology. You can look it up. I'm not going to explain it. You can go to Dads Who Game.
I love this.
They're hilarious. But yeah, it's just there's signs everywhere in everything we do. And even when we talk about like a scientific approach, right? We are both NAMA certified anger management specialists. And then me, I go above and beyond and I read and get more information about a thing. Even though I'm certified, that's not it. It's
That's
a practice.
the beginning.
Yeah, it's the beginning, right? So I was reading this book called Anger is Your Compass. And I highlighted some things that were very interesting about us as human beings. It says here, in fact, the human brain is more concerned with kinds of thoughts, assessments, and feelings that promote survival than those concerned with seeing reality accurately. For this reason, we often get caught up in uncomfortable emotions. According to evolutionary psychology, fear, worry, stress, and anger are normal, necessary parts of the human experience. This is a key point to keep in mind. And then I go down to this next part, which I felt was very important too, right? Emotions as your inner GPS. It says emotions evolved through natural selection as a way to get humans and other mammals to avoid things that would threaten their survival and approach things that would aid them. The emotion of fear prompts us to run for our lives and defend ourselves. The emotion of love motivates us to connect and cooperate with others and to care for them. Emotions condense our judgment about what's happening around us, driving us to make the right decision for survival. Now, the reason why I pointed that out in the signs, and we talked about, the traditions of storytelling and teaching our kids is because when we get emotionally attached to signs, we tend to make decisions based around when we see those signs.
Right.
And if those signs are leading us in the way of something that is better and going to increase our likelihood of survival, then it is good to pay attention to the signs that you specifically are associating with survival, with fear, with running away from something, which we call those red flags, right? Pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention to your intuition. When you're about to enter into a relationship that could be harmful to your survival, pay attention to the signs because they're there for a reason.
Yeah, I was like, it just reminds me too, the red flags are there, but there's also the green flags. And what you just talked about is like your intentions. My mind is blown right now with Jill. Like, it's so good. But with that, and I'm not trying to like beef up my own side, but it's just the truth of it, is I came in here being like, oh, Jill. I love Jill. Jill's smart. Jill's impeccable. I like her example. Like, I am literally coming here with all this love, and I'm asking the universe. That's what I'm doing. I'm going, universe, man, show me something. Show me some signs. And then Jill goes, bub-a-da-bub-a-da-bub. And says everything that I need to hear right now. I couldn't pay her more money to do what she's doing right now, like perfectly. She's doing this authentically on her own, organically, and then I'm accepting it. But it's because I came here with love. It was wholehearted love.
And the thing is when somebody asks the universe always delivers.
Oh,
the universe has no emotion. And
right.
it just, that's why we have to be impeccable with our word.
Yes.
Because when we ask, we shall receive.
Absolutely.
And you always have to pay attention to the signs that are around you because, like when you look at your phone, like in the last episode, I looked at my phone, I said, oh, snap, it's 555, right? And then we looked at, what 555 is. And so it's about, in the moment of when you see a number that reaches out to you on your gas receipt or on the clock or on a license plate, think of what were you just thinking about in the moment that you saw that sign. And a lot of times that sign will resonate to what you were just thinking, and that is your spiritual committee giving you that sign that you are seeking.
Right.
Also, when you see repetitive signs, like when you look at the clock at 222, and then you look at the clock at 333, and then it's 444 and 555, that's a sign that your angels are screaming at you of pay attention, pay attention, pay attention.
Look at me.
Right.
Look what I can do.
So Jill's intuition is on point right now because the two next topics for signs are new opportunities, which is essentially the universe is giving you opportunities and saying that this is all lined up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't miss it. And then the next thing that it says is repetition because when you are seeing...
You missed that one?
Right.
Here's another sign.
Right.
You missed that one? Here's another sign.
It's like
guess what?
seeing
Another
a
sign.
billboard that's screaming at you, okay? Which is hilarious because right now, even me, my ego is like, look at my list. And Jill is like, look at the universe, like straight up. That's exactly what we need to be doing in terms of signs. They are everywhere.
Yeah.
They can be in new opportunities. They can be with your old colleagues. And when you sit back again with somebody and they tell you the opportunities that are ahead of you, it's right there in front of you if you want to see it.
And also, some people who are listening might say, well, how do I get to the point of being in tune
into the zone?
And how do I receive these signs? Well, in order to receive these signs and be having like in the flow of knowing, you have to be grounded and you have to be connected to this energy. So the best way to do that is to take off your shoes.
Yes.
Get outside into the grass, into the dirt, into the forest, and literally connect to the magnetic field that the earth itself is giving off. And we are energetic beings, so our energy is going to root into the earth's magnetic field, and we are able to absorb that magnetic energy through our skin.
It's almost like what she's describing in my mind, and this is my mind. I'm imagining like you do this thing and you become essentially an antenna on Rome.
Yes.
And now you're open to all the different signals and messages and vibrations of the universe and radio waves that will send you all kinds of messages. You might get overload if you're not used to this type of connection. But again, when you see this tree, this pie top, that is what we want to instill in your mind, is that you are that tree.
Right.
Yeah.
You are rooted into this existence, this human existence, this existence on earth, this spiritual existence, universal existence. It's all a part of the process of growing, living, and sharing, and creating the best quality of an experience that you possibly can have while you're experiencing it, right? In real time.
I want to tell you a funny, well, not a funny, it's not funny. It's just the power of the energy that we have.
Yes.
Okay. So last full moon that we had, I was out in my neighborhood late at night. And so in my apartment building, there's 4 apartments per building.
Okay.
2 stories, right? And so it was late at night, early in the morning. I was out there, had my shoes off, really just like in the zone, right? And my neighbor downstairs and across on his patio, he has lights that are like solar powered lights, right? Meanwhile, it's dark outside. Okay. And so I'm standing there and I'm, like looking up at the moon, and his apartment is in my peripheral vision. Yeah. And I have my hands, up like this, and I'm really just like getting really grounded and like feeling my energy. And I kid you not, the light on his balcony starts flickering.
Yes.
Because that is my energy
100%.
making his light flicker.
100%.
And I said, oh, snap. And so then I like shake it off, right? And then light goes off, and I do it again with like the intention. And so then I'm like, yes, I already knew that I have this power, right?
100%.
But then I physically witness my power. It was the awesomest thing ever.
I believe in that 100%. Like, I know this is so cheesy, but man, Matilda, the movie Matilda,
Right.
okay? Like that little girl, she believed in her energy, and she had to work on it for a minute there when she's trying to get the book to raise up and come to her. But like once she identified and like focused just a little bit more about that energy, she was humbling. She was singing the songs and making pancakes fly.
Right.
Like it happens so quick. And truly we are magical miracles. We are energetic beings. And the concept of pie, truly, like we feel this right now. We have this going. This person met this person to meet this person to meet this person to do all the things that we always are trying to collaborate and create. And what we're trying to do right now is antennas up. We invite you. Antennas up. Let's do this. Like, let's really have fun with it because it's this fun. It's so fun.
It's kinetic energy.
Yes.
When you can really understand how to use your energy that is in every single one of us.
Absolutely.
Every single one of us has this ability.
You're born with it.
You're born with it. It's God within us, right? It is like that. You just have to be able to tap into it. And society does not want you to tap into it. And that's why they want people to be fat, sick, and stupid. Because that's negative complacency, right? And that's why it's so important.
And that's why they sell so much tea in all the media.
That's right.
Focus on the negative.
Negative energy, like when you're sharing a story that's like a poop story about your friend, right? All it's doing is taking your vibrations. Not even who cares about them. It's about you. It's taking your vibrations down, okay? And when your vibrations are down, so is the antenna. And that's exactly where they'd like us to be. That's why TikTok and all these things are circulating nothing but a bunch of garbage so that you sit there scrolling, numbed out, checked out, and lowering your energetic vibrations as you watch a Stanley Cup advertisement and purchase the lead champion. Like, it's all made and brought to you by
the lead champion.
Well, because I even had one. I gave in. Don't worry. I'm stupid too sometimes. But the thing is gone, and I won't drink out of it because now I'm in the knowing. Once you're in the knowing, you walk on.
Right.
And that's where we're kind of at. We're inviting everybody, join us to just walk on in a different light.
We've talked about this. And we've talked about this. And we've talked about this. But it's like once the veil's been lifted, you can't put it back on.
And I was just going to say, you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And that's why some people say, I'd rather be ignorant. Ignorance is bliss. Yeah, ignorance is bliss because once you know something, you have to make the decision, what are you going to do about it?
Yes.
And that's why it's so important as an adult or at some point in your life, you have to take responsibility for yourself and you have to question everything that you know, because most times it is a lie. And it's all based on society. At the beginning of time, you know, this is what the grand scheme of things, right? And so that's why it's important to understand the power that lies within us and the power that we do have control over. And when more people can understand that, then the more power of the collective we have to make change.
Yeah, so at the beginning of this episode, we read the Keep Effing Going, and we talked about being our authentic self in our different work environments and how these two presented themselves today. And then I spoke about how I had to modify my volume. And I wasn't really being that candid or honest in those moments about what I'm really speaking about in terms of my belief structures and systems. And this, to be real, is what I believe in. This is it for me. I do believe that the world is embedded in lies. It's terrifying to see how it's coming at everybody, but what it is truly is spiritual warfare. And it's been happening since the dawn of time. Now, How do I win at spiritual warfare to the people who don't want to hear, who don't want to see, who don't want to speak this same language that I'm speaking? I have to modify the way that I connect with others. Right here, I get to invite you all at a platform and a level that's loud and proud. That's what we're doing. That's what we're excited about. Now, when I'm at a work environment where there are other people who are not at the same vibrational level as me, that's when I have to modify my words. But I'm not modifying those words because I'm trying to be less than. I'm modifying them because I'm trying to bridge a gap to invite them. I want to raise them up with me. I want to help them see that it's not that scary to open your eyes. It's not that scary to lift the veil. Once you do that little bit of work, the bounty is magical. The things and the blessings that you receive, it's like living in a phenomenon every day. It's a beautiful experience. It's like living in the God light, the good light, whatever you want to call it. It's absolutely living an impeccable life as our souls were truly meant to live.
That's right.
Well, before we wrap up this celebration, we're going to give you the answer to who said that.
Who said that?
And the answer is Futa Hilu. Can you say that?
That's right.
Futa Hilu?
Yeah.
So he was born June 17, 1934. He was a Tongan philosopher, historian, and educator. He studied philosophy under the Australian empiricist John Anderson, and in 1963 launched an educational institute named Atenisi, which is Tongan for Athens, to pay homage to the ancient Greek philosophers Heraclitus, right? In particular, the institute began as a continuing education program for civil servants, then initiated a high school in 1964 and a university in 1975. He also said, all that is necessary to break the spell of inertia and frustration is this: act as if it were impossible to fail. He also said, when the dead departed, they took away any falsehoods that they might have allowed us to believe while alive. We who are left behind have to embark on a different life, since the dead are no longer here to help us deceive ourselves.
I love this.
I chose this particular philosopher because our birthday girl has family connections to Tonga.
Yeah, so my middle sister has been in Tonga for 19 years.
Wow.
I'm sorry. And she ended up in Tonga through the Peace Corps. So after college, she decided that she wasn't ready to, get into the workforce and, buy into that BS. And so she decided to go to Tonga. And her first term there, she met her now husband, Tony, who is Tongan. And he left Tonga and had to go finish school in Hawaii. And so they lost touch for a few years. And Amy decided to renew and do another term in Tonga. And then Tony reconnected with her. And so then she decided to stay in Tonga. And now I have a beautiful niece and a beautiful nephew. And I have gone to Tonga a few times. And that's where I got my tattoo.
I was going to bring it up, but yeah.
And my parents travel to Tonga twice a year. And my sister and her family come to America every December to January for like 6 weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love this. I also love that the universe decided to keep her there.
Yeah,
so
me
that
too.
she can do all the things that she did.
And also, like, to shout out my sister, she has fully immersed herself in the culture,
I love
and
that.
she can speak Tongan fluently.
That's amazing.
She designs, she works with different hotels down there and does traditional, like, Tongan designs for pillowcases, and she sells greeting cards and like purses with traditional Tongan fabric, and she's very immersed in the Tongan culture. And her husband raised their kids as Tongan as possible.
That's awesome.
So they have, they live on one of the outer islands as well as the main island. And the outer island has 73 people living on this island.
Wow. And
there's no electricity and no running water. And so they really live, super traditional.
That's beautiful.
And it's really awesome.
I really honor that. I think that's an amazing story. But it also just goes to show you get to choose how you want to live, man.
Yeah.
And that's a really great choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I love your sister. I don't even know how I love her. I did want to share one of the agreements from the Blueprint to Recovery, just because it keeps hitting as we've been sharing today. But and if anybody wants one of these, please let us know. You can hit up our email, pietalkpodcast@gmail.com. But it says, I agree to connect with others in a positive and authentic way. I can accept that curiosity fosters connection. I agree to look for the commonalities among others and myself and practice open-mindedness when confronted with something new by asking questions that are meant to seek understanding and promote unity. Sounds like that's exactly what your sister did. Sounds like it's what we did today on the show.
Yeah.
And it sounds like pie, which I really love.
Me too.